Hello Aries, this is going to be your reading for February 2023. So we're going to have a little look at what's coming up for you, what the general energy is for the month, anything you need to be aware of, and yeah, let's see what happens. So splitting the pack here at the Eight of Swords and also the Three of Cups. So let's see if they pop back out again at any point. Okay, Angels, Spirits, Light of the Highest. Cards don't want to be shuffled. Okay, Ace of Cups there. Light of the Highest. Could you please help me to give a very clear message to Aries for February 2023. Please make the message very clear. Please guide me to have clear vision to see this message and deliver it in the best manner. Please, angels, God of the highest high. Okay. We're going to do 12 cards. Okay. So it's going to be 4 cards for each week. Can I get 12 cards, please, Spirit? 4 cards for each week for the whole of February, please. Thank you. Okay, we're starting off with the Four of Swords, Temperance. I'll get 12 cards in total, please, Spirit. 1 for each. 4 for each week of the month. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, 4 of Pentacles. The Knight of Wands. The Moon. I'll get 3 more cards for the second week, please, Spirit. 6 of coins, which is funny because I saw it popping out. Now you get 4 cards for the third week, please, Spirit. Thank you. The Lover's card, the Knight of Pentacles. The fourth week we have the Eight of Wands in reverse, the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Can I get 2 more cards, please, Spirit, for the, thank you, third week. Oh, okay. King of Cups in reverse and the Seven of Wands in reverse. So your whole third week, Aries, is going to be in reverse. Then we have the Tower card. Can I get 3 more cards, please, Spirit, for the last week of February? 2 more cards, please, Spirit, for the last week of February for Aries. Thank you. 1 more card, please, Spirit, for the last week of February. Okay. And looky. Didn't I tell you that it came out? There you go. Okay. Okay. So, in the last row, sorry, did I tell you this? So we got the Two of Pentacles for the third week, King of Cups in reverse, the Seven of Wands in reverse, and then the Tower card, the last week this is, the Tower card, the Ten of Swords, the King of Swords, and then we had the Eight of Cups crossed by that Three of Cups that wanted to come out in the beginning. And the bottom of the pack, my darlings, is the Queen of Swords, sorry. So we do have the pair here. We've got the set, which is rather nice. Oh, and underneath that, it wanted to show me, we've got the Four of Wands there, which is kind of marriage, celebration, happiness. So this could be Divine Counterpart coming in for you towards the end of February. We shall have a little look, Aries. Let me just take a sip of my tea. Mind you, I think it might be too hot. Yes, it's very hot. The affirmation for today, which they've told me to read you, is your base should be accurate and your projection should be accurate. God knows what that means. It sounds almost like architecture. So I don't know about you, Aries, but you may... And I just picked up my pack and I just saw the little corner of you-know-who. This is you, my darlings. There you are. What did you come out with? Oh, you came out with the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands standing behind you. Nice energy. Some Divine Counterpartship here. If you're not in a relationship, could be one coming. Okay, so Aries, let's have a little look at the first week for February for you. So we started off here with the first week with the Four of Swords, Temperance, the Four of Cups, no, why did I say cups? The Four of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands here. Okay, so we're starting, it feels a little bit with some healing. Okay, some healing that's required before you can make some action, it appears here. The Four of Swords talks about taking time out for respite, restitution, recovery, all the R words, and kind of looking towards kind of doing some of that healing work. This is air energy as well, and so that's Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, if that is relevant to you. But this feels very much for you. Taking a rest with this air, taking a rest from some of the intellectual concerns that you have. I feel like there's a lot of overthinking that's been happening for you in January, Aries, and it's time to take a break from it. And it's also a time to bring in some of that healing essence there with the Temperance, with Sagittarius energy coming in there with Temperance. Now, the Temperance card talks about alchemizing, and it talks about healing things. Now, with this Four of Swords, it feels very much like you are trying to create mental security for yourself, and actually there's something that's been bugging you that hasn't felt very good, and it was 6:06 on the clock there, so that makes me think that this is maybe financial issues to do with the things in the physical realm. Okay, 6 is all about, you know, it's the number of the beast, and that means the number of man. It's about things to do with the physical world. So I do feel a little bit like, Aries, that you have been having a lot of mental worries, a lot of mental strains. And after this Temperance card, we also have that Four of Pentacles coming in. And that Four of Pentacles talks of money worries, financial stability. It can talk about kind of money coming in, but it can also talk a little bit about maybe kind of like being stagnant in wealth. There, you can notice there that with the Temperance card, they're pouring the water from one cup to the other. There's movement there. There's that transactional analysis. No, I'm not saying transactional analysis, that's psychology. There's that transactional something state that's happening there, okay? Whereas unfortunately here a little bit with this Four of Coins, you can see there that he's holding on to his coins so much that he can't go and do anything else. And so I do feel a little bit like you've been worried about money, you've been worried about finances, possibly worried about things to do with, you know, the 3D realm, as it were. But also, I'm just noticing here, I mean, it could be that you're having something to do with the Sagittarius, but I'm also noticing there in the back, that window looking a little bit like the Six of Cups there for me. And I said the Four of Cups there as well when that came out. So it's giving me possibly kind of like feeling of, you know, needing to heal something. Needing to heal something possibly due to do with a relationship. But also being aware that you hold on to too tightly to, basically you're putting out a message there, a scarcity to the universe. I often use you know, say if you're trying to grab hold of a handful of sand, it will pour out of your hand and you won't actually be able to hold as much sand as if you were to hold your hand out like this. So sometimes this closed fist approach towards life of grabbing hold of things and holding on to them really tightly actually often causes those things to leave us much faster. So the question for the first week of February is, what is it that you need to heal and what is it that you're holding on too tightly to? And it could just be insecurity, because it feels like the answer to both those questions is insecurity. I'm holding on too tightly to something and I need to heal my insecurity because that is the root of the reason for me holding on too tight. And then we have yourself kind of showing up here with this Knight of Wands. This is rushing towards things passionately. This Knight of Wands talks about travel, it talks about flight, it talks about moving towards things courageously. Now, it could mean that you have been saving up to move house and this has been something that's worrying you and causing you upset, and this could be to do with those 3 first cards. But there's also a feeling that something needs to be healed here before you can make action towards anything. So towards the end of the first week of February, we could see that there's some movement happening in your life, maybe moving house. If not moving house, then certainly moving from a mental perspective from this feeling of not having enough. and taking time out to retreat and heal, to possibly moving towards something by the end of the first week. Let me know in the comments if this rings true to you and what it is that you're moving towards. I'm interested to hear. So the second week, we move forward with the Moon card, the Five of Pentacles, the Lovers, and if I can pick this card up, the Lovers, and then the Knight of Pentacles. So it feels slightly like you're moving towards possibly telling some truths that are hidden that may leave you outside in the cold, possibly from a love relationship. It could be that you are healing from a breakup. Could be that there's something going on in your relationship that hasn't been serving you, maybe a breakup. But if not, then possibly moving towards something. Let's have a little look. Let's have a think. So the Moon card, this talks about kind of bringing to light things that are done in the darkness. It talks also about Cancer as well. So this is a card for Cancer if you have any Cancerians in your life. We've got the Five of Pentacles there. So this kind of feels like something possibly that you're not being honest about. And this is kind of what is leaving you outside in the cold, possibly from this love relationship. Again, it could be this kind of, these thought patterns, these kind of processes, this feeling of insecurity that you're having to heal in week one. I feel like you want to move quickly towards something, but the truth of the matter is that there's still truth that needs to come out here. With this Moon card, there's a feeling of deception, there's a feeling of uncertainty, there's a feeling of dishonesty here, and possibly, if not those things, then definitely some level of illusion or something coming to light. By the time this comes out, Aries, I do feel like there is a fear, or there will be somebody, possibly you, being left out in the cold. Now, I'm hearing the truth shall set you free. So if you've got a secret, 12:12 on the clock there, as I say that as well. If you've got a secret that needs to come out, I'd recommend you just bite the bullet and let it out. Because the truth shall set you free. And if you're living a life where you're in the warm, proverbially, in this, if you're avoiding this because you're lying, how truthful is that state? You're living a false life. If you're avoiding telling somebody something because you're frightened that they will put you outside in the cold, only time will tell. There's only so long that you can hold on to a secret. So if you've got a secret that you need to share in the second week, my advice would be to tell the truth and to rip the band-aid off. There is a feeling here with the Moon card that you are falling into your ego here. And possibly by not telling the truth of your heart, but telling the truth of your ego, this is what's leaving you out in the cold. The fact that the Lovers come out after this is Gemini, but the Lovers feels very much like there's a decision to be made. Now, what is this decision? Now, this talks about compatibility, harmony, triumph over trials, vacillation, intuitive decisions, entanglement, so forth. Now, coming out here with the Five of Pentacles and the Moon, I feel a little bit like you are ignoring your intuition about something, and you're holding on to something that maybe doesn't serve you anymore by telling fibs, Aries, because you don't want to be left out in the cold. I'm hearing, what's that phrase? One in the hand is worth two in the bush. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Now, that sounds very practical, but the truth of the matter is if you don't want the bird that you've got in your hand and you want the one that's in the bush, you should let go of the bird that you have in your hand so you can catch the one that's in the bush. So I feel like there's something here that you're not letting go of, possibly from a fear of scarcity, a fear of insecurity that we saw there in the first week. So you really need to start to work on these mental prisons that you keep yourself within. And we did see the Eight of Swords at some point within it, which is at the beginning, I think we saw that, if I'm not wrong. So there is a feeling here of kind of like you holding back your truth from yourself, And I feel like by you holding back these truths from your fat self, you're actually causing your progress to slow down. We've moved from the Knight of Wands to the Knight of Pentacles here, okay? So the Knight of Wands wants to rush forward with passion here, okay? Whereas the Knight of Coins is very, very slow. He's good, he's able to finish the task, but it's taking time. Now, if there is a feeling, if there's something that you want to move towards, do it practically. You know, it's to do it with the Knight of Pentacles is to do it practically. But I do feel like something needs to be kind of shelled from your life here. Whether it's an approach, a habit, a belief. But there is a feeling of kind of lack, scarcity, and being left out in the cold here with some of these cards here, with these pentacles. And the fact that it is the pentacles, it feels a little bit like there's a financial decision that you need to make, but you're frightened of making it because you're worried that you're going to lose out. Now, that idea, and I was burping there when I was doing that. That was like, and that is anxiety. So I feel like that's for you. That's when it comes up. That's anxiety for a reader. So I do feel that there is something in your physical realm to do with your finances, possibly tied in with a love relationship, that's causing you to slow down and hide things for fear of being left out in the cold. Now, the third week of February, everything is in reverse, okay? So the energy feels a little bit halted, a little stagnant here. Let's have a little look what's going on. So 8 of Wands in reverse here. We're looking at hasty actions and decisions, but we're also looking at quarrels and harassment. So I do feel like don't make hasty decisions, okay? Do them sensibly, but also tell the truth, because lying will never get you anywhere. And I think really people are more astute than you think they are. So people can pick up that there's something like dishonest going on. So I'd be very careful about what you're doing when you are telling fibs to people in a hope to keep yourself in a pretty position, Aries. So 8 of Wands talks about quarrels and harassment. After that, we have the 2 of Pentacles. So there is a feeling here that, you know, of energy fluctuations. There's a feeling here sometimes of like you get what you paid for. Now, with this communication card in reverse, and then we had the King of Cups in reverse, and then we had the 7 of Wands in reverse. There is a feeling here that if you lie and you are dishonest, then there will be karmic retribution for that. And I am warning you now that if there is a truth that needs to be told, I would recommend telling it, because being dishonest is not going to help you. And looking at the cards in the fourth week, it's very much the truth shall set you free. So we'll move on. We'll continue with this week, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. Now, after this, I do feel like stop telling fibs, stop being dishonest. I think it's really, really important. We then have the Knight of Cups in reverse after this, if I can pick him up. And the Knight of Cups in reverse once again talks about cunning, artifice, and fraud. Whatever you're doing and thinking about getting away with here, Aries, I would advise against it, okay? After that, we have, and you know, what energy have we got here? We've got energy for emotions, we've got energy about money, and we've got energy about passion, okay? So we kind of got everything here, bar intellect and truth up there with the swords, and that's obvious why that's not there. Underneath that, we do have the 7 of Wands, and in reverse, this is the only kind of positive card that you've got here, because this talks about winning through fighting from advantage and the strength of personal integrity. Now, you're being challenged to tell the truth and to become the man or woman. I feel like I'm speaking to a man here, but to become the man that you want to be. And the man that you want to be is not the King of Cups in reverse. It isn't somebody that tells lies for personal gain. It isn't somebody who has no integrity, Aries, okay? The man that you want to be is the man that has personal integrity and lives from that premise. So I do feel like second week of... you know, there's secrets that you're hiding, okay? Second week of February, it's very fucking clear that there's something that you're not being honest about, and you're keeping that on the down low because you don't want to lose the position that you're in. But you are going to lose it, and if you're doing something that's dishonest, that person will find out. And when that comes out in the wash, it'll be a lot worse than you telling the truth about it now. The third week is all about you questioning whether or not. Now, I feel like the third week, the energy is that you're thinking, I'm going to lie about it. Okay? Now, you start lying about it. And then it seems like by the very end of the third week, you change. You change your ideas and you decide to come with personal integrity. Now, don't get scared. Because once you've done that, we have a tower moment. Now, I talk about this. The tower removes things from your life that should not be in your life. That's it. It is things that are built on unstable foundations that are going to collapse at some point. So this bird that you have in your hand that you don't really want, but you're glad that you've got a bird, let the damn thing go because it's not serving you. This tower that you're thinking, you know, this feeling of like, oh God, well, if I don't live in this tower, where will I live? Well, you can go and build something much more stable and much more reasonable. And that's what we need to do. Okay. So what you need to recognize is that here with this tower card, you can see these two people. One has jumped and one has been pushed. So this person's jumped and they know where they're landing. This one has been pushed by the will of God. So with these tower cards, you can either decide to do the right thing and jump, and you decide where you land and how you land and when you jump, or you will be pushed out of this tower because what you're doing isn't for the good of you and isn't for the good of those that you're within that situation with. And then after that, we do have the 10 of Swords. Now, this 10 of Swords does talk about endings. It talks about finally kind of letting go of everything that's not supposed to be there for you. It does talk about grief and pain, letting things drag us on and drag down for too long. But it does also talk about faith when the chips are down. So I do feel like even though this tower moment is going to feel like shit, it is going to bring you some peace. After that, we move to the 10 of Swords. Not the 10 of Swords. After that, we move to the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is a just, fair, powerful man who sits in his truth. So what is your truth, Aries? What is your truth? Because all the lying that you've done in the first 3 weeks has been pointless. And I feel by the last week of February, you will recognize this. Now, the last two cards that we had come out is the 8 of Cups, which is talking about decline, abandoning plans, letting go and moving on. But this also recognizing things that are an impossible situation. And this is this Tower card. This thing that you've been holding on to for fear and lack and scarcity, you need to know that you need to let it go. And my left ear's just gone. So your spirit guides really want you to recognize that what you're holding on to at the moment is a frivolous endeavor, and it's actually holding you back from your happiness. Okay, it's actually holding you back from this Queen of Swords. Okay, so when you step into your truth, there's you with the Queen of Swords. So I feel like maybe you need to break up with somebody, or there's something going on in your life that you're not doing for good purpose. For worry of being left out in the cold, worrying of the healing that you need to do, worried about your finances, all of this shit. But the truth of the matter is when you're holding on to this situation that doesn't serve you, Aries, you are foregoing this divine connection. And this divine connection is one that is built with truth, with stability, with transformation, and also something that feels like could be bringing in happiness, celebration, and maybe marriage for you. So the fact that we had, and just to show you, underneath those cards there, oh, holy shit. Oh my God. Okay. Fuck me. Okay. So underneath those cards, underneath that divine union there with the Queen of Swords, we had you seeking out pastures new that will bring you happiness and fortuitous situations. Underneath that, we had the Fool, which is taking a new leap into a new beginning, which will bring you victory and success there with the 6 of Wands, a new beginning, and a divine counterpart. If you're in a twin flame situation, Aries, whatever you're holding on to right now is neglecting the thing that's going to bring in your happiness and joy. So I would let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And that's the thing, is you're fearful of being frozen out. But it's like your house is outside in the snow. You're inside being like, oh, I don't want to go outside. It looks a bit cold. And it's like, bitch, like your woman is the snow. You need to get out there. That's where she is. So you staying inside for a fear of the coldness is holding you back. Now this 8 of Cups was crossed here by the 3 of Cups. So this talks about happiness, this talks about pleasure, this talks about problems being resolved. When you walk away from this thing that doesn't serve you, Aries, you're going to find a divine counterpart and you're going to bring in happiness and joy into your life. So I recommend that you start being honest about what is going on in your head, your heart, and your soul. Recognize that material possessions are just a very, very small part of this world, and that you can do the healing work that is needed to bring in this divine counterpart and this love. But it starts off with you telling the truth. And I've just got the Ace of Swords there in reverse, which is lies and, what's that word? Obfuscation? I don't know why that came out. Of the truth. And the quicker you tell the truth will set you free, as they say, as Jesus says. And it's time for you to tell the truth, because it's this truth that is holding you back. Okay? I hope you have a fantastic February, Aries. I look forward to speaking to you next month. I'm much more active over on TikTok, so if you want to go and join me over there, we get daily reads for the Divine Feminine and Masculine, as well as a lot of others. And if you'd like to book a private reading with me, all the links are down below. I love you. Take care of yourself. Bye.